This is the optioned app. We're going to go through the trail. So I'm going to go up here and click on Trail. We see the first thing it does, it's in the main program. It says over here, P0. It's going to go to the Options app, and we see down here, once it does the skip, it skips to this instruction. That is the .12 option start. And here we see it's there at JA. See, went to JA and immediately it's at JA. It mods the state to make sure it's just 0 or 1. It mods the game number to make sure it's just 0 through 12. Then it starts the control registers for a rectangle. We advance 9. Here's the X and Y for the rectangle. We know it's the entire screen. Makes it a color. Says it's canvas 1, which is the background canvas, and does the rectangle fill. Well, that's this whole area of background is made the same color. Then it displays note 74 in the blue box. Make sure we're back to canvas 2, which is a regular canvas. Start setting control registers again. Advance another 9. The X and Y values are set. The color is set to black. It makes a rectangle. There it is. Then it says that rectangle is clickable. And if click 5 was not clicked, though, go to JK. Well, we know it wasn't clicked, and it did go to JK. It sets other values of X and Y, changes the color to red. We advance it, changes the font to bold 22 points, and puts the word return in the black box. Then it sets another set of tall and wide and X and Y, change the color to green, and it makes a rectangle. And then it says it's clickable, but this time it's click number 6. We advance it, checks to see if 6 was clicked. Well, it wasn't. So go to JM, it says. We go to JM, and there it sets an X and a Y, sets the color to white, the font to bold 22 points, and says put the text on the screen, and we see the word is change, and we see white letters in the green box saying change. Then it says it's going to call subprogram 6, tab number 19, and right away we see that's where it is, and it sets tall control register to 30. We advance it, wide 700, so you see that brown box is only 30 tall, but it's 700 long. Puts it at XY, down 20, over 20. Well, the upper left-hand corner is that. It says the color is brown, and then rectangle fill, made it, and then set it to be in a clickable box, and said it's 46. Well, it checked to see if 46 was clicked. It says no, so it went to FB. Now it's changing T and W. And then it sets X to the game number, multiplies it by 54, and adds the 20. Well, it added a 20 because of this 20 here at the beginning, and then it had to go out 54 for every value of the game number. Of course, the game number is the particular option that has been selected. Alright, so then it says color black, draw that rectangle. Well, there's the rectangle. It's setting black in the back of the option that was selected. So you know which one was selected. So draw that rectangle. Then it's changing the color. Another X and Y. We'll advance it. And now we see it set itself into a loop, a for next loop. And the value of I starts at 0. It ends at 12, changes by 1 each time. And we see it making I into a number that it puts in line. And down here, it does the text of line. So it's putting the numbers into line. It's already put 2 of them because it ran around the loop on the second time. We'll start advancing it and let it start doing all the numbers. And there they go. Now, let's see, where's the end? There's the last next, I think. Then it sets the value of k to the game number and multiplies it by 128. That's to set it to the proper text at the bottom. We'll see that come up later. Changes the color to black, the font to bold 12, sets X and Y. Let's advance, and now we see what it's going to do. Putting this text at the bottom of the screen. But it checks the state first. If the state is a 1, which we know means that it's going to use canvas 3, go to FH. Well, it didn't go to FH because it's really doing the subcanvas. So it put the text down at the bottom for when a subcanvas is built. Alright, and then when it does that text, it jumps around the text that was for canvas 3, changes the color to 606. We'll advance. Makes font 415, puts the text on the screen. Option. Then we advance again. Well, now wait, I should explain that when it puts the option there, here's where it uses the value of k. A little while ago, it multiplied 128 times the game number so that it could advance 128 for each value of the game options here and put the right text down at the bottom. We're on option 2, and you see down here it put the line for option 2. So that's what's happening here. Then it goes home to the main program again, and then it says call subprogram 6 and tab 20. Well, right away we see that's where it is, P6 20. Makes the color red. Then it goes to the given patterns and puts given pattern 6 into the pattern list. And then it sets R and S to control registers. We advance, and then it says, well, it gives the X and Y 200, 200, and well, that's the center right here of this red hexagon. It then says take pattern and make it into a dots list. Then display it as a polygon fill. And there it is, the first red hexagon. Then it adds 350 to it. Well, that's the center of this one. Sets C to the state, sets the canvas, and we know it's going to set the canvas either to 2 or 3, but in this case it's going to leave it at 2 because C is 0. We're in state 0. Then it makes a pattern again. Now you say, why did it have to do the pattern again? Well, because the value of X changed. The dots list for this one is certainly not the same as the dots list that made this one. So it had to do the dots list on pattern a second time, then make the polygon. That's this one. And now we'll advance 9. It made sure that the canvas got set back to canvas 2 because that is the normal canvas. And then it went home. Then it puts the value of the tick in the T, mods it by 120, which means it's going to go from a 0 to 119. Then it says if it's less than 25, go to JC. So it's not going to do this next thing. But it's not less than 25, so it continues on. And it says go to subprogram 6, tab 21. And here we see, there it is. When it gets there, it checks if the state is equal to a 1, it says go to FJ. Well, that 1 would mean that it's to be on canvas 3, but we're not doing on canvas 3, we're doing everything on canvas 2. Change the color to black, get the given pattern 2 and put it in the patch2 list. Pattern 2 is a square. We advance it. Here we see it changing the square 100% tall, 120% wide. Oh, alright, you can see this is not a square. It's wider than it is tall. It was changed to fit what it's to be used for. And that is the sub-canvas. Its value of R is 0, and its size is 220, and it's at X 550, 200, and here the quill is set. The value of Q control register is set to 2. That's how wide it is. The quill has to be set because it's going to make a drawing. It's not going to fill the polygon. It's a polygon draw. Here's where it made the dots list for the polygon draw. And then a very interesting action here for dots with option 14. Option 14 means it's going to not build a dots list for making a polygon, but the dots list for a sub-canvas. That's what this 14 means. And this particular action 14 is only going to have the sub-canvas used one time. One time, and then it's done. It goes away. However, there is another option for dots 15 which says start this as a sub-canvas and use it until you see a dot 16. But we're only going to need to use that sub-canvas for one polygon. So it's set to 14. So we don't have to say when it's over. It's only going to use it one time. We'll advance 9. It goes home. Goes back to the main program. The main program says subprogram 6, tab 22. Here we see that's where it is, tab 22. Changes the color to a green color. Goes get pattern 25. Well, we know that's a 5-pointed star. It says no rotation, size 150, X and Y value 550, 210. That's right here. We'll advance another 9. Here it's telling it where to be, and that the dots pattern is going to use game number as the option for dots. So we know the game number is 2. So when it came down here and did this, this is the result. It made the green star, but it had to follow the rules of 2. And down here we see option 2. No red, green only if over red. Well, we see that the tips of the star were cut off because they weren't over red. So this is where it performed a particular option. Then it sets the C to the state. The canvas was set to, in this case, 2, which is what it was already. Did the green star, changed the canvas back to 2, went home, and when it got back to the main program, all it saw was exit. Well, that's the trail for the Options app.